What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. So, we now have officially begun the roster cuts of the TKO merger with WWE and the UFC. Last week, we got the office cuts, which would be HR and social media departments and other things pertaining to that. Now, we are getting the roster cuts. This happens with any merger. Calm down. Don't lose your shit. Most of these people will be fine. And I looked at the list, and most of these seem to me to be Impact / MLW bound. Except for one. And then also, we're going to talk about Fox giving WWE the boot, cutting their ties with WWE and saying that their services are no longer needed, and they're going to have Smackdown be back on the USA Network, which is great. I'm a big fan of that. Makes perfect sense. So let's go ahead and get into the releases. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more to come. I know NXT is going to get their rounds pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be before or after No Mercy. I just don't know. Probably after. But speaking of that, because Mustafa Ali got released, and he was supposed to be on NXT No Mercy. He was supposed to be, but it didn't happen. So he got axed. So here are the names we got released. Mustafa Ali, Rick Boogs, Emma, Aaliyah, who we haven't seen in probably a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. Elias, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Shelton Benjamin, and Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler is a wild one because he's been with the WWE for years, but he showed up on Being the Elite not too long ago, earlier in the week, so of course he would be let go. And most of the names that I just mentioned seem to me like they're going to be Impact bound, except for Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, if I was Ziggler, I wouldn't go to AEW just yet. I wouldn't. What I would do is I would go to Impact for a while. Because why would he go to AEW for? If he goes to AEW, Dolph Ziggler would just be in the mid-card. And he could just tag with his brother, and that's it. That's all he could do. He would be no more than the AEW International Champion and the TNT Champion, and that's it. Other than that, that would be his glass ceiling right there. That would be his ceiling. If he goes to Impact, he could be world champion. That's for sure. So Dolph Ziggler's a wild one. He could go with either Impact or AEW. Shelton Benjamin, Impact for sure. They have a lot of veterans on their roster. Shelton Benjamin would be a great addition to Impact. I think he'd be tremendous. I think you could bring back Charlie Haas, reunite them, and have them do well in the tag division. So I'm fine with that. Top Dollar, you can have him just do music. I don't see why Impact or any other wrestling promotion would use him. Riddick Moss, just like Emma, could go to Impact and be used. Riddick Moss is, 32? So he's fairly young. So he's the same age as, I think, Jake something. So you could push him, and he could maybe be your next main event guy if given the right character and everything. So I could see him and Emma going to Impact. Elias, same thing. He'll be tremendous in Impact. They're heavy on their characters in Impact, so Elias will be great. Aaliyah would be great because she's Canadian, which 90% of Impact's roster is fucking Canadian. So she'll probably go there. I don't see her going to MLW or AEW or anything like that. Rick Boogs, the same thing. I could see him going to Impact as well. And Mustafa Ali, I could see him going to Impact. Again, Bound for Glory is actually in Chicago next month. So, literally, in a month's time, Mustafa Ali could literally show up at Bound for Glory. Literally. So I do see that happening. And Impact would do well with Mustafa Ali. I could see him being the X Division champion, digital media champion, maybe even world champion. But Impact would definitely do him right versus AEW. If he goes to AEW, Mustafa Ali would instantly be lost in the shuffle. Instantly. He would only have a glass ceiling of being the AEW International Champion as well as the TNT Champion. That's about it. That would just be his glass ceiling, nothing more, nothing less. But Impact, he would do well. And he would have a new lease on life. It would just be, if he went to AEW, his only option would really just have a glass ceiling of just being a mid-carder like he was in the WWE. So that's it. Most of these guys will be fine. I see most of these guys going to Impact or MLW. Most of them preferably Impact. Especially Mustafa Ali and Emma reverting back to Neil Dashwood and Riddick Moss. That'd be a great addition to Impact. Like I say, these talents seem more Impact bound, if we're being honest. And then one final thing. Let's get into WWE going back to the USA Network, which is great. Great stuff there. So, they're going to return to NBC Universal for Smackdown next year, which is tremendous. And they are going to secure a $1.4 billion deal. So WWE is making bread beyond belief, which is absolutely great. And I'm trying to think, since SmackDown's going back to the USA Network, then what becomes of NXT? Personally, since you have all three of them under one umbrella, I would just have NXT be exclusive to Peacock, because it would make the most sense. And I'm pretty sure that NBCU would probably continue their deal with WWE. So Peacock would still deal with them for sure. I could see them being re-signed for like another 5-year deal or something like that for NXT. But to have NXT exclusive to the USA Network is fine. I'm hoping that now that they're coming back to the USA Network, I'm hoping that SmackDown will be on Tuesdays. I think that'll be perfect. You have Raw on Monday and SmackDown on Tuesday, and then that's it. Then you got all your WWE programming out the way. And like I said, you could put NXT on the have it be exclusive to Peacock. I think that would be great. You could put that on like either Tuesday or Wednesday, and that would be great. Because I feel like wrestling should not be on every single day of the week. I just don't think it should happen. And we literally have it like that right now, and it's not good. But WWE going back to NBC Universal, basically their home is perfect. It's a perfect choice. They were okay on Fox, but I kind of saw the writing on the wall with Fox. Like, Fox wasn't going to really renew WWE. They weren't going to. They weren't going to continue to dish out $1 billion to them every 5 years. That just wasn't going to happen. And Fox is in some debt, basically. Just like all these corporations are in debt. But Fox just wasn't going to do that. And they probably thought that WWE would bring them higher ratings anyway. When they first did the deal, when they first inked it back in 2019, they probably thought that we were going to get, they were probably going to get maybe a rating of like 3 to 4 every single week. And they've just been getting ratings of like 2, like 2.1, 2.3 at times. And when they go to FS1, which is maybe out of a year, maybe like twice a year they do that, they would get at least probably like 1,000,006, 1,007, 1,008, maybe 1,009,000, give or take. But it makes sense for WWE to go back to NBC Universal. It's been their home basically, and WWE right now is winning. You know, this is a wise decision, a very wise decision. We could see Smackdown coming back on Tuesdays, which I'm not opposed to at all. I'm definitely down for that. I don't think anything comes on Tuesdays that's worth watching, so the ratings should always be good on Tuesdays. And then just with NXT, they could just, make it exclusive to Peacock. There's no point putting NXT on like a Thursday or Friday. There's no need for that. No need at all. I would just have it under one umbrella. I know they want to have NXT, have it be on like its own network, but I don't see any networks wanting to pick up NXT. I just don't. Knowing that the ratings are going to be between a good 6 and 7 at some point in time, maybe 8 every so often, but that 800 and something would be literally like every blue moon. But I don't know. But I think it would make perfect sense for NBCU to basically just have it all under a package deal and just put NXT exclusively on Peacock. That would just be the best bet, instead of switching NXT to a different night. That would be dumb. And I don't want them to do another Wednesday Night War garbage. Like, that shit does not work. Just don't do it. It would never work. It would never work. Even AEW right now, even though it's not as hot as it once was, I just couldn't stomach having another stupid war that these smart marks would just jizz in their pants over. I think it's idiotic. It would be completely idiotic. But overall, the releases are okay. There's going to be more to come. Most of them are basically Impact bound or MLW bound for sure. Dolph Ziggler, if I was him, I would definitely do an Impact run versus an AEW, especially if he wants to be a world champion. He's still fairly young. I think he's mid-30s, I want to say. Mid-30s, maybe late 30s, like 37, 38, 39. Maybe early 40s. But Ziggler, he's good. He'll land on his feet. Mustafa Ali, that's fine. He'll land on his feet and everything else. So most of these guys and girls will be fine for sure. These guys and girls are Impact bound. And the and the NBC Universal deal with Smackdown coming up next year. That's great. That's great. I'm glad that they were able to secure Smackdown back where they need to be. But what did you guys think? I'll have the links to the releases as well as the NBCU Smackdown deal. I'll have that in the description below. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.